We will start this morning in lying on your belly and then lifting up into Sphinx. So suspenseful. Especially if I've had a really long day, or if I haven't done yoga in a while, this is the pose that I usually start my practices with, because it's a pose that you can slide into. It's very natural. You might even find in bed, sometimes you do this reading a book, or maybe you hang out on the floor. But what I like about starting with Sphinx is it illuminates how little the gap is between like yoga and just moving around or being alive or being in your body. So just take a couple moments here. Maybe close your eyes, maybe don't. And just notice what you're bringing with you onto your yoga mat, because we know it's more than just the body. So first, see where your attention is. Notice if you can remember any dreams or feelings from a dream. Observe how, even if you've only been awake a short couple minutes, notice how your thinking is this morning. Observe your heart, your mood, your attitude. And then notice what it's like in your body, the sensations and the energy in your body. Then staying in Sphinx, you're going to lift up your right foot, support yourself with your left arm, and then see if you can just start to bring your foot towards your buttocks. So we're doing a little bit of an active stretch here, pulling our heel to the buttocks, and you could possibly feel this in the belly of your thigh. So it's like right in the big muscle in the front of your leg. Some people might even find that their heel is on the outside of the buttocks and they can push down on their toes. And then release that leg and do the other one. Especially if you've been running all weekend or bike riding, your thigh muscle can get quite tight. And then we're going to release the left leg and slide the left knee up. So it looks like, you can't see it on the screen, right? Like you have a lizard leg. Very nice. And then you're going to give yourself a lizard arm on the left side, and you can use your right arm to support your head and either lay down with your forehead on your right arm or with your right ear on the floor looking towards your left, which is a little bit more comfortable. So it's a very gentle hip opener, this pose. You can notice in the lizard, you have a frog leg. So your hip is being opened gently here. So while you're in sleeping lizard or dreaming with lizard, just take a couple moments, and we went through our body and our being and kind of observed. And in these next couple of moments, just take a moment and intend. So what are your intentions for the day, or how would you like to be more? What virtue or strength are you feeding or trying to become more of, less than? What are your wishes for this day? This day, unlike any other day. We so often follow a very unconscious path that we're not even sure that, or it's not even like we're not awake to how much we influence the way our days turn out. But what we fill ourselves up with shapes and colors and flavors how we meet the world. Now you're going to lift up a little bit so that you can thread your right arm behind your left elbow and then roll open into a twist here. It's a sneaky, yep, going the other direction. Exactly. Very nice. If it's comfortable for you, you're welcome to grab onto your left knee with your right hand. You can either gaze at the ceiling, or you can even take your gaze a little further to your left, perhaps. Our breath, our attention, our inner state of being even can become so ordinary to us that we forget how extraordinary it is. That depending on what we fill ourselves up with, or in some cases, what we manage to let go of, but this inner state of our being isn't just confided to the boundaries of your skin, but influences us even to a point where we'll notice or not notice the outside world of nature or of other people, depending on our inner state. But it's like water and a fish. You know, you never get away, the fish never gets away from water. And the same thing in our daily life. We're not able to step out of ourselves. There is no such thing as actually objectiveness from our own being and personality. Absolutely, we can effort and we can work hard to drop our judgments, and we can work hard and diligently to really try to be open. But this living inner nature in us affects everything out there. Now roll back to Sphinx and we'll transition. You can moan and groan, you can sing a song. We're going to transition to sleeping lizard on the right hand side. So let your right knee come up so that your thigh is coming straight out from your hip. You know, give me one frog leg, one cactus arm, and poof, we've got a lizard. Alchemy. It really is, though, like our insides alchemize the outside. You've experienced it before that you can have two people experience the same thing, and their impressions and their reactions and their reading of the situation can be widely different. Very similar that you can have like two people living in the same address and they both feel like they live in completely different neighborhoods. And so much of that has to do, like, where do we put our attention? Where do we push our insides out to meet the outside world? What portal do we go through to make connection? This essential nature of our inner life, with just a little observation, can show us how vital, life-giving, or life-robbing our beliefs actually are for us. Why do you think humans are here on Earth? Why are you here on Earth? You know, what's the nature of birth and death? What happens when we're asleep? You know, all of these really open-ended, undefinable answers, like, those kind of like, what do you believe in, has to do with these big questions. And until we examine these questions, it isn't that we won't have beliefs, we will. But often it will be unclear where those beliefs came from, or we won't be awake to them. Thinking ourselves like this clean slate. So lift up onto your lift up your chest a little bit, just enough that you can thread your left arm behind your right elbow, grab onto your right knee, and then gently roll yourself open. Feeling the twist in your spine. And beliefs they're interesting nature, because they're not just a superficial thing. They really cut to the core. So it's not, you can have a habit of being nice or being friendly. And you can even think that all humans are equal. But if you don't actually believe it with your gut, you'll notice that our biases, our cultural biases, our, family biases will dictate a relationship sooner if the idea of equality is just a thought and not an absolute embodied belief. Just as one example. So there is this phenomena that has been observed that, despite all of these colloquial, these like, I'm just blanking, like Christian schools or like, moral coded based schools that are trying to teach human beings to grow up into moral adults. When it's taken so straight on, it's only through the head, and it doesn't become a living experience in the body, and it doesn't usually work. Belief isn't based in reason often, or maybe your deep, deep belief is reason. But when you start to examine what you believe, you'll notice some of the things you believe, you don't know why or how they came to be or why that makes sense to you. We can have beliefs we don't even know the origin of. And you might even find that some of your beliefs are very simple. Like you believe if something important happens to your partner or a friend, that they will tell it. Well, other people believe that if you want to know, you're going to ask about it. This is very much like touches on this whole phenomena of the language of love, where we usually look to see if someone is loving towards us by measuring their actions against how we would show love, not how they would show love. And then start to roll all the way onto your back. Wiggle around, moan and groan a little, and then hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to go for a little massage here. So first, just rock side to side, and then rock 180 degrees. And finally, after you've lined up your body, rock up to a seated position. Ta-da! Yep, careful of the glasses, all of those things. And then find your way into a comfortable seated position, already feeling just from rocking on your spine. There's maybe a little spark of warmth coming up your spine. Come into lotus or half lotus or easy pose. Feel that you can lift your spine tall. Bring your hands to heart center, maybe even feeling the warmth of each of your palms. Feel your thumbs connect to your breastbone. Close your eyes. Notice even with your eyes closed, you can perceive light and darkness. And we're going to sound 3 ohms. Let's empty our breath first and take an inhale together. And then release your hands down and come into tabletop. And then start to make some wiggles, maybe some circles in your tabletop. You can even tuck your toes under for a moment to get a little toe stretch in there. And then come to a balanced table. So stop the wiggles. Feel your hands pushing down, a slight lift in between your shoulder blades. Your knees are underneath your hips. And you're going to stretch your right leg back, maybe pulse it a couple times and lift your right leg and your left arm at the same time. Stretch your body long. Feel your belly lifting up, supporting your spine. Notice what it's like to breathe in this shape. And with your exhale, tap your elbow and knee together. Bring your chin in, pull your belly up, arching your back. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, reach long. Now this time you're going to bend your right knee and you're going to reach behind you and see if you can grab onto your right foot with your left hand. And then lift up your chest, kick your foot into your hand. Doing a supported crossbow here. And then extend your limbs, reaching your left arm forward, right leg back, and then spin your right heel behind your left toes and come into supported plank. Reaching up, feeling like you have a long staff in between your right hand and your left hand. Notice if your staff is bowing. Yes. And then if you want a little bit more, start to balance on your left shin and raise your right leg. Then stretch your right arm over your ear. Feeling your whole right side get long. And with your exhale, tap your elbow and knee together. Inhale, get long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, tap it in. Then inhale, lengthen. And again, this time, reach your right arm up to the sky. Then bend your right knee and reach behind you and see if you can hold onto your foot. Yes. So this alignment is more like a dancer or candy cane. Feel your ribs moving forward, perhaps coming into the back bend here. And then lightly let go, stretch long, and with your exhale, find tabletop again. Now, come into Sassy Cow, bringing your right shoulder to your right hip, your left shoulder to your left hip. Feeling like you're doing like side crunches on your side body here nearly. And then find your way back to tabletop. Inhale, lift up your head, your heart, and your hips. Exhale, push the ground away, come into cat. Inhale, one more time into cow. Exhale, one more time into cat. Then inhale, come to a neutral tabletop. Stretch your left heel back. Pulse a couple times with your heel, feeling that release your calf on your left leg. And then with effort, reach your right arm and left leg up at the same time and feel the extension and relationship between those limbs. Reach your body long, even find the small vertebrae of your neck lining up with your spine. And with your exhale, tap your elbow and knee together, lifting your belly up, curling in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, get long, and this time going the other direction. You're going to bend your left knee and reach back with your right hand and see if you can catch your ankle or your toes. Supported crossbow, so your chest is still squared forward. You're kicking your foot into your hand. Yes, not collapsing into the left shoulder. Beautiful. And then without the splat, elegantly extend your limbs first. And then spin your left heel right behind your right toes, lining up the arch of your left foot with your right toes, and reach your left arm up to the sky so it comes like straight out from your right arm. You can nearly feel. And if you feel like you have enough support, balance this morning or this afternoon, feel free to lift up your left leg. And then reach your left arm over your ear, feeling that extra stretch. And then 3 crunches here. With your exhale, tap your elbow and knee together. Notice you might be a little wobbly. Inhale, get long. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale long. Exhale, tap it in. Una más? And then going the other way, you're going to bend your left knee and reach behind you. And feel that even here, your right thigh is supporting you. You can let your ribs push forward a little bit, your hips push forward. Maybe let your neck come into the bend. And then elegantly and lightly stretch your limbs long and find your way with your exhale to tabletop. And now let's make some rib rolls. So roll your ribs to the right a couple of times. Excellent. And don't worry, it's not about doing it right. It's just getting these little different movements in, and then roll your ribs to the left. Like you're massaging your torso along the inside of a barrel. I don't know, as one does. Beautiful. And then tuck your toes under, and with your exhale, reach into downward facing dog. Find some wiggles if you have more kinks to work out here. Take off some clothes, have a drink, whatever you need. Starting to feel already the sparks of starting the fire of our yang part of our practice. Now start to still your downward facing dog. Feel your hips lift up and back. Exhale, let your knees soften, your heels lift up, look forward. While you keep your breath out, jump your feet quietly in between your hands. Inhale, lift up your arms and fill up all of your lungs. And with your exhale, just hug the back of your knees, bending your knees softly. And then root down with your heels, rise up, roll up, whichever one works for you, backward swan or a nice roll. Lift up. Now look up. And maybe even here, lift a little higher and take a baby back bend. And then with your exhale, Samastitihi, bringing your hands to heart center at the end of your exhale, releasing your hands peacefully down or just throwing them down. And then inhale, lift up. If you need to help waking up this morning, you can add a clap here. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your spine roll. Now inhale, halfway lift, keeping your hands on the ground sets you up for vinyasa. And then with your exhale, step back to plank and lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, low cobra, baby cobra. Active knees lifting off the ground. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Soften your knees, feel how you connect with the earth here. And notice how you reach up to the stars here. So it's between these two that we become more alive. Take another full and fueling inhale. Exhale is preparing you. And then while you hold your breath out, hop your feet quietly forward, both of them. Inhale, maybe fly your arms to like really feel the lightness here, straight legs. And with your exhale, bend your knees, grab the back of your legs, hugging yourself. Root down and either backward swan dive or roll up, your choice. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, reach your arms up, maybe a clap to help you wake up. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your knees be soft, give yourself space. Inhale, halfway lift, feel the effort, even in your abdominals, to lift your spine. And then either jump to chaturanga or step back to plank and lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Invite a small micro bend into your knees, and you'll find that you can more easily stretch your hips up and back. So this repetition, especially of something simple, can really help just stoke the fire. Like you're throwing a couple logs onto the fire to just get it a little bit warmer, a little bit more open. But it's this repeatedness that often increases the fire. Take another full inhale, fueling up. Empty your breath all the way. While you're empty, hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe you like the flying lift. Exhale, forward bend hug. And then bend your knees and inhale, Utkatasana. And let's take a couple breaths here. So in these couple of breaths, yes, you're holding the pose and it gets more warm. But you also want to like check in. Okay, how is my breath in this pose? Where is my power in this pose? Find the weight in your heels, your knees sliding back, your lower back. There's a curve in your lower back. Your heart is opening. Take a fueling inhale. And with your exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel like this is the preparation for chaturanga. And then exhale, bending your knees as you jump back. Chaturanga. Bending your knees. I'm sorry, that was your arm, knees, your elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And we're going to take some breaths here. So first, extend your leg nice and long. Feel its relationship to the whole right side of your body. And then pull your belly to your spine, bend your knee, and let your hips spin open. Now feel energetically like you're lifting up your left shoulder. You might like to just test the lightness in your left hand. Some days it's lighter than others. And then with your next exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Let your left knee come down to the ground and inhale, supported crescent lunge. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Feel the lengthening with your breath. Feel the connection on the whole left side of your body. Pull your abdominals in. This helps you steady. And then roll your hips open as you bend your left knee. Notice what your upper body did. Gently invite your right shoulder to lift up. A nice way to do it is to become light in the right hand. You're welcome to play, especially if you did on the other side. You can slap your left foot, or you can just think about your right hand lifting and being airborne. Take another full inhale here. And then purposefully step your left foot all the way to your left thumb. Let your right knee come down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, supported crescent lunge, inner thighs squeezing together, root lock engaged. And then with your exhale, ride your breath all the way to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel a small bend in your knee. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, bend, twist your hips open, bending your knee. Inhale here, and then exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. This time, let your back knee stay lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then you're gonna hinge forward to winged warrior. Your belly's lifting up. Lift up, inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Notice what your hands are doing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. Inhale here. Then exhale, step your left foot all the way forward to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Hinge forward to winged warrior. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, chaturanga. Find your vinyasa. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feel a little bend in your knees. Feel your hips pulling up and back. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. Inhale here. And then exhale, step your right foot all the way forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. With your exhale, you're going to hinge forward and fly into airplane. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. What? Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. Inhaling here. And then exhale, step your foot all the way forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Fly into airplane. And then inhale, crescent lunge, feeling your back bend grow. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you might be feeling a little bit like, oh, I really want to do Utkatasana. Like we skipped out in some Utkatasanas there. I'm sure that's what you're thinking. Uh-huh. So keeping our warmth, take a full inhale, empty your breath all the way, and then hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Then bend your knees, drop your booty. Inhale, Utkatasana. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Now, keeping lifted with the turn, with your inhale, lift up your chest, feel a nice squeeziness in your lower back. And with your exhale, twist first, and then drop your elbow down, hooking your left elbow to the outside. Feel that you're pushing your hands together, you're squeezing your knees together, your weight is in your heels. And then start to feel that you can start to lift up and float your left foot. And then step all the way back into twisting Anjaneyasana. So crescent lunge, very nice. And then with your inhale, lift up Anjaneyasana. And then with your exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now walk your feet about halfway to your hands-ish, just close enough that your hands are still flat. Step your feet together. And then start to lift up onto your toes. And we're going to do 4 donkey kicks. So you kick your feet up and try to like you bend your knees and you like let your heels kick your butt. Yes, you'll want to land quietly like a big fat cat. 4 times. Maybe you just go straight into handstand. That's fine too. And then hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, drag your chest forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, release and bow down. Then bend your knees, drop your booty. Inhale, Utkatasana. Find the weight in your heels. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Stay lifted first. And with your next exhale, twist. And then drop your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. It just helps you get a little bit more twist in the thoracic spine often. Push down on your bottom hand to let your heart lift up. Feel that your knees are lined up. Maybe your right knee needs to pull back a little bit. And you can adjust it before you start to lose weight in your right leg. And then slowly, like you're in slow-mo, reach your leg back to the back of your mat, finding yourself in crescent, twisting crescent. And then with your inhale, lift up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands to your feet at the back of your mat. And then you're going to bend your right knee and bring your right heel to your buttocks. And you're going to reach back and hold onto your foot. And then, sorry, with your right hand. So see if you can hold the inside of your foot. That's kind of a little bit awkward. Yes, well done. And then lift up, dancer pose. What? That's not how we usually get into it. Feel your chest squaring forward, your hips squaring forward. Feel your breath. And then that looks like a good idea. You're going to release your foot and you're going to lift up your knee in front of you, stretch both arms up, and then reach your right leg straight in front of you and pulse it up. for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fly into airplane and bow forward, Ekapada Uttanasana. And then relax your right leg down. It was just a splits for fun. Okay. Now shake it out, dance your rag doll, jiggle your soft spots, whatever you need there. And then we're going to start the same way. We're going to bend our left knee, bring the heel to your buttocks, and you're going to reach back and you're going to hold the inside of your left foot. It's not the normal one. So you go to the inside of your foot and then see if you can find a little power and strength with your right knee slightly bent. Rise up into dancer. Feel your chest squaring forward, your hips squaring forward. Allow breath to fill this shape up. And then you're going to release your leg and you're going to bend your left knee and lift it up in front of you. Stretch your arms up and then point your toes and pulse your leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bow forward, Ekapada Uttanasana. And then relax your left leg down and walk your body, oh my God, your body all the way up into plank. Yeah, well done. It's nearly like Schwabish, but the American version. All right, step your feet together. And you're going to roll to the outside edge of your left foot first. So we're coming into side plank here. If you need to, you can always drop your knee, or you can use the kickstand and you put your back foot, just your top foot right behind your bottom foot. Now, if you want a little challenge, maybe start to lift up your right leg. Maybe even hold onto your right toes. Maybe, it's a maybe. And then beautiful, find a little piece wherever you are. And then with your exhale, chaturanga. What? Inhale to plank. Yes, you got this. You got this. Yeah, I know. It's a little different than up dog. And then roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Stretch your arms apart. So you can drop your right knee, or you can actually put one of your foot. There's different ways to do it. You can put your top foot in front or your top foot behind, but either one helps. Let your hips lift up. Maybe start to lift your left leg. Maybe eventually hold on to your left toes, inside plank. And then come back, come to plank, lower, exhale, chaturanga, lift up to plank, chaturanga, one more, real push up, and then lower yourself all the way down onto the ground. We're going to have one more back bend here. So you're going to bend your knees and you're going to reach back and hold on to your feet. Now, yogi's choice. You're pretty warm here already. We've already done bow, standing bow. So you should be ready for full bow. So holding onto your feet, point your toes, squeeze your knees together. And you want this as a balanced effort. So you're kicking your feet into your hands just as much as you're pulling your feet with your arms. And inhale, lift up. You're balancing on your belly button. Now, yogi's choice. You can lift up here and stay here and hold it. Or if you want, you can let yourself roll to your left. So you fall in bow. Yeah, I know. It's not what you think you're supposed to do. You can even get your neck into it when it's here. There's a little bit more freedom. Your hips are pushing forward, your belly's beautiful. And then come back to center. We're training very specific muscles here. Lift up a little higher, and then with your exhale, fall to the other side. So I guess fallen dancer doesn't sound so good. Fallen bow. And then come back to center. Lift up gloriously large teardrop shape, and then lower down to the ground. And just take a full breath in with your exhale, just sigh out. Oh. And then however you want to, we're going to finish with a twist, but we're going to do it the other way. So I want your head where your feet is and your feet where your head is, and you're lying on your back instead of your stomach. So it's like roll over, flip over, turn around, and then come all the way around. That lovely way to do it. It's the other half of the circle that we started class with. And then hug both of your knees up to your chest. You can choose if you want to extend your left leg, do it. But the key here really is to keep your knees close to your chest and then twist. With one knee or two, take your knees to the left. Feel your abdominals supporting your spine even here. That effort actually engaging the abdominals helps you with the twist, releasing your spine. Notice how it was in the last 20 minutes as we started to move more and increase our heat. Sometimes we completely lose what our intention was. Other times it stays in us and we can use it kind of as this, a force in us. But just notice how it was for you today. And then roll back to center. Hug both your knees in, and then yogi's choice, either stretch your right leg long or keep both your knees up by your chest, and then roll your knee or knees to the right. Feel your abdominals pulling in, actually supporting the twist. So the effort supports the release. Take a full breath in, and with your exhale, just sigh it out. Oh. By investing your time in a practice, a daily yoga practice, or even 5 minutes of meditation a day is a wonderful place to start. But just noticing by investing this time, you actually become more aware and more grounded in your own being. Cultivating beliefs and attitudes that help you meet the world in service and love. So hug your knees back to center. Maybe lift up your face and kiss your knees. Thank you for doing such a stupendous job. Yay. On and off the yoga mat. And then stretch your legs long and find your way into Savasana. Feel the ground hold you. To release your shoulders, you can lift your ribs off the mat and squeeze your shoulder blades together and pull them down away from your ears, and then drop your ribs back down. If your lower back hurts, you're always welcome to have your knees bending with your feet as wide as the yoga mat. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Allow your peripheries to start moving, wiggling, smiling. And then with your inhale, stretch your body long. Feel your possibility of reach. And with your exhale, hug your knees to your chest and curl up, rolling onto your side and feeling the vitality, your living forces. And then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to meet at heart center. Feel that when you root down, you have more freedom to rise up. And with your eyes closed, maybe remember again your intention or your direction. Let's close with one Om. Empty your breath first. Take a deep inhale. Ah. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward, together we say, Namaste. And so much love. Woo! Excelente. Thank you for being here. And have a great day.